Today, we're making spaghetti completely from scratch. Welcome to Scratch by J-Bone. We're going to start with about 8 pounds of pork shoulder. We're going to cut them into pieces small enough to fit into the meat grinder. This will be a lot more sausage than you need, but you could freeze the leftovers for future use. Now we're going to place them on a baking sheet and put them in the freezer for about an hour. This will ensure that they don't get too hot during the grinding process. I'm using a KitchenAid meat grinder attachment, but I've heard the hand crank ones work better. Now I'm adding salt, pepper, garlic, fennel seeds, chili flakes, paprika, oregano, and cooking wine. The exact ratios depend on how much meat you're using. Pro tip: enter the amount of meat you have into AI like Grok or ChatGPT and ask it to generate a recipe. Now we have to lube up the shaft. Now put the casings on. Your KitchenAid is gonna love this. And don't forget to circumcise the tip. You can do this part yourself, but it's easier to have someone help you. I have someone feeding the pork into the grinder while I twist them every 8 inches or so in alternating directions. You could put these on the counter and let them air dry for a couple of hours, but if you have a dehydrator, that'll speed things up. Let's start on the sauce. Score the bottom of each Roma tomato with an X. This will help when we start to peel them. I have about 11 Roma tomatoes. It ended up not being near enough, so I went out and bought 11 more. Throw them in boiling water for about 2 minutes or until they start to peel. Now the skin comes right off. Cut in half and remove the stem. The sausages are dry and ready to be cooked. I may have had the heat a little too high. Get a nice brown on them. Add some water, lower the heat, cook for about 10 minutes. In the same pot, add about 2 pounds of meat. I have 1 pound of ground beef, and I ended up having about a pound extra of sausage meat left over. Drain that, and let's dice 1 large yellow onion. Cook on medium until soft and fragrant, and let's add our 1 canned ingredient, tomato paste. Stir and cook for about 2 minutes, and then let's add our tomatoes. American flour is toxic, so I got this Italian flour for our pasta. Put 4 cups of flour, 4 eggs, and about 2 tablespoons of water into the KitchenAid mixer. Mix for 5 minutes, then set aside for about 30, covered. Now you can roll it flat, cut it into strips, but I'm using a KitchenAid pasta attachment. Boil for about 2 minutes, or until al dente. Grate a block of Italian Parmigiano Reggiano. Now we can start plating it up. There is nothing like homemade pasta. I can never buy the dry stuff again. Get that plate looking nice and beautiful. Let's add the meat sauce. I let it cook low and slow for a couple hours. It turns out real thick and flavorful. Plop that sausage on there. Now the Parmigiano Reggiano. A little more. Let's grab some fresh basil that I totally grew in my garden. Now it's ready to eat. This is the best pasta I've ever had. No preservatives, no fillers, no food coloring, no seed oils. A meal that would make RFK Jr. blush. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.